In other news, American negotiators have drafted a new agreement that may finally temper down the crisis in Gaza. This new agreement sets to accommodate both Israel and Hamas's terms, including the release of hostages, along with a pause in fighting for up to 2 months. And as per reports emerge of a ceasefire potential deal in Gaza, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stepped up public pressure on Qatar to bring the Gaza hostages back home.
Regarding Qatar, I don't take back a single word. I will not give up on one single lane to put pressure on Hamas or someone that can pressure Hamas to bring back our hostages. Qatar hosts the leaders of Hamas. It also funds Hamas. It has leverage over Hamas. Qatar committed to make sure that the medication will reach the districts of Hamas to our hostages. And Qatar said that it can help bring them back. So therefore, to put pressure on them, they positioned themselves as mediators. So please, go right ahead and prove it. Let them be so good as to bring back our hostages. And in the meantime, make sure they receive the medications.
Meanwhile, Hamas has warned that it won't release any Israeli hostages until there is a full stop to aggression in Gaza. A senior Hamas leader reaffirmed that the group is in touch with Qatar and Egypt officials for hostage negotiations.
With regards to stopping the aggression and hostage exchange, we have confirmed many times that we have dealt and are still dealing in all seriousness with the ideas and propositions of the mediating parties in Qatar and Egypt. And there are constant communications that haven't stopped. We reaffirm that the return of the captive Zionist soldiers to their families alive will not happen until the aggression against our people stops.
As reported by a top American media publication, the report posts an initial 30-day halt in the fighting in a first phase, which will allow the release of female, elderly, underage and wounded hostages held by Hamas. Another second phase will attempt to wind down military operations from both sides over the course of another 30 days. Washington's draft will be presented at a summit in Paris today. In attendance will be representatives of Israel, Qatar, Egypt and the United States. CIA director also expected to debrief his Mossad counterpart, the Egypt intelligence chief, along with Qatari Prime Minister. Also scheduled to meet today in an emergency session in Cairo are members of the Arab League along with Palestinian representatives.
Of a number of statements made by senior...
The League will deliberate on the ICJ's verdict in the case of genocide allegations against Israel. The ICJ has demanded that Israel try to contain death and damage in its military offensive on the tiny coastal enclave, with an emphasis on measures to ensure no incitement of genocide in rhetoric or actions taking place against the people of Gaza. As stated by the permanent representative of the State of Palestine to the Arab League, the meeting has been requested by the Palestinian state in coordination with Morocco. Now, Morocco currently serves as the president of the 160th session of the Arab League. The League is expected to take a unified stand on the International Court's verdict.